Oh, man. Oh, man. Woo! So, hey, family! Hey! Oh, we got such a great show for you today. I'm so super excited. I was up there just hugging him nonstop. Roy Wood Jr. is here. Roy can take whatever he wants. Oh, my goodness. I can't wait to talk to him about hosting the White House Correspondents' dinner because he was so phenomenal, and I'm so proud of him. So I'm very excited he's here. And plus, our Best Life series continues with Emmy Award-winning journalist Tamsen Fadal. Now, I am very excited to talk to Tamsen because she is here to talk about all things menopause. So this is something I want to know about and hear more about. So we're excited today. Good morning, John.
Good morning, Sherri. Listen, I'm a little sleepy today because you had me in the streets late last night. But we were at Janet Jackson. You're going to talk about that. But I think I got a nickname for Tamsen.
What?
The Menopause Maven.
The Menopause Maven, I like that.
Listen, I ran up on her at an award show because she's like New York news royalty, and I was like, hey, I've been following you on social, you're telling great stories. I don't know nothing about menopause, but Sherri would love to hear about it.
And so I'm glad you did, because I like to think of her as a menopause whisperer. You know, like, yeah, she just knows menopause, so I'm glad you asked her to come on the show.
And Roy Wood Jr., I mean, come on. He was here with us earlier in the season. You said to him, I just see great things happening for you. It's so great seeing somebody have their elevation, so I'm excited for him to be here today.
And thank you for asking Tamsen to be here, because it probably was one of those days I was hot flashing and irritable. John has to come in the room and he always goes, is the Tasmanian devil here? Or is the Christian girl here? So, yes, okay, so I don't even want to waste any time. We went to see Janet Jackson last night. When I tell you, all I have to say is Janet Jackson will be 57 years old next week, and she is still in control. Still in control. Y'all, Janet Jackson did 40 songs for 2 hours. She's got so many hits. Every time I thought I had heard everything, she played another song that I knew. And this is the thing, I knew all the words to every song. I was so out of breath, and then she sang another song, and I jumped up, and I was like, I can feel your hand moving up my thigh, skirt around my waist, wall against my face. I can feel your lips. I mean, I was saying, and I don't want to stop just because people walking by watching us. I don't give a damn what they think. What's that next line? I want you. All I want to say, anytime, any place, I don't care who's around. I'm telling you.
Of course you'd be singing the nasty song, Sherri. No, why is it always the nasty, seductive songs with you?
Because the freak in me just connects with the freak in Janet. Ask me that. What? I knew all the words to the fast song. I knew all the words, but you know what I could not get over was at the level that Janet operated, she had so much stamina, and it was just on a whole nother level. She started out in this huge purple Handmaid's Tale cape. All I could think about was Handmaid's Tale, Eyes Wide Shut, and I said, I hope that's not what she dancing in the whole time. But it was so, like, dramatic, and I said, I know that cape is coming off, and sure enough, that cape came off, and y'all, when I tell you, Janet got badunk-a-dunk for days. There is no hiding that booty. Janet got that country mama booty. I loved it. And the way she danced was like, do you guys know that, I don't know if it's pronounced HIIT or height, high interval intensity training, where you start out slow, then you do like 45 seconds to a minute of fast, then you go back to slow. That's what that reminded me of with her dancing, because she would start off very sexy, the walk, very sexy, and then all of a sudden, 45 seconds to a minute, Janet was just like, boom, 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 boom. And I mean, she was going, and then she'd stop, and then she'd switch back off stage. You know, she'd be sexy, and she'd walk back off the stage. And I swear to God, I was like, does Janet have an oxygen tank back there? Because she'd be off, and she had 4 male dancers who danced with her, and it got so sexy with the dancers. And there was, you know, that if you are a Janet fan and have been to her concerts, you know there's the one where she ties up the person to the chair. And so, of course, she did not disappoint, but Janet got freaky as she got older. That's what I like, because her hands are like the Black Widow. It was like, it was tiptoeing, 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 and then it grabbed something. And it was this little 8-year-old girl who was sitting next to me. It was her first concert. And so I'm looking at her on the Jumbotron, grabbing it. And I said, I hope the baby don't know what's going on here, boy. But she brought 2 super fans on stage to dance with her. They knew the choreography. It was a man and a woman who danced with her. They came out later. Now, the woman looked like she could have been a choreographer, John. The man, he just had on a big T-shirt and some jeans. It looked like he was selling popcorn. They was like, come on stage and come dance with Janet. But he knew all of the choreography, and he was so enthusiastic. Finally, they had to get up there and go, okay, sir, that's enough. You gotta go on back. But like literally, so he left, and I loved that Janet let her fans get on stage and dance with her. And then as I looked around the arena, it was packed. It was sold out. That Janet Jackson can sell out arenas over multiple nights. I was so proud of her. And everybody at the concert, you know, how you light your phone up, and everybody's, you know, she was like, let me see those cell phones. Darn it, my battery went dead. The whole time I'm lighting up my phone, you can't see nothing. Oh man, Janet, you did your thing on that stage. It was just like, it was so phenomenal what she did. And then after the show, we got to go back to meet her because Janet had given me tickets to come to her show. And now we were at section 141, and they told us that we had to walk to 103. Now going through a concourse, I've never seen John speed walk that fast. To get us to where, because you know, everybody knew they had to go to section 103, and it was a mission. We had to get to Janet. And I want to say much love to everybody in New York City who kept giving me love and wanted to take pictures, but I learned from Queen Latifah, when you on a mission, you just got to keep going. So people were looking at me like, I could hear, that look like Sherri Shepherd. And I said, nope, Octavia Spencer. When I tell you, anybody that came up to me, they was like, Sherri, can I get a picture? I was like, I don't know who Sherri is, I'm Octavia. And I kept going. So I just want to say to the fans who didn't get a picture, Octavia Spencer apologizes to you. Because I was like, I gotta get to Janet. I gotta get to her. So we got to the room that Janet has her you know, I guess you could call the VIPs in the room. And there were all of these people there. But y'all know, I got facial blindness. So a lot of people I don't recognize. And a gentleman came up to me. It was Ralph Carter from Good Times. Michael yeah. From Good Times. Right there. Michael, and they are friends to this day. They're very, very close. But I didn't recognize because I got this facial blindness. So I was just like, hey, how you doing? You want a picture? I'm Octavia. And that's Ralph Carter right there. And my publicist, Simone Small, said, no, Sherri, that's Michael Evans from Good Times. And you know, like, I had to go give homage to Michael. And I went back up to him and I was like, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I didn't know. You're Michael. And so he was one of the first ones in because he and Janet, they went to school together on the set, and they're very good friends to this day. And so also, I got a little bone to pick with Mr. Questlove. Questlove was in the room, and I saw him. He was talking to John, and I said, oh, that's Questlove. Because a lot of times when I don't know people, I'll say, hey, how you doing? Because I'm not sure, but I knew. I said, that's Questlove. So when he came up to me, I said, hey, Quest, and he goes, Amir. And I went, I messed up. So I went to my publicist and I said, I messed up bad. I messed up, because that's not Questlove, that's somebody named Amir. And then she tells me, she says, well, Amir is his real name, and that's what he uses for his friends. And I said, don't nobody know all of that. I don't know that's Amir. I know that's Questlove with the pick in his hand. I was so traumatized because I'm like, you are Questlove. And when he said Amir, he said like it was mad. And I was like, I was panicked because because I said his name with the commitment of Questlove. Like, I don't know you, Amir. I don't go to none of your family picnics, Amir. I don't know, like, we don't hang like that. And I'm like, you Questlove. And then so I was like, so you traumatized me. I just want to say that, Questlove. You traumatized me. I love you. But I saw Alicia Silverstone was in the room as well. And so Alicia Silverstone, I did a movie called Beauty Shop with Alicia Silverstone. And I don't assume that people know who I am. So I was trying to get her to remember who I was. And Alicia Silverstone is a very famous vegan. She's a vegan vegetarian. She doesn't eat meat. And I told her, I said, you also brought your dog to the set and your dog was vegan. But I gave him some Italian sausage. And I told her I was sorry. She was smiling, but then she stopped smiling. So I don't know if she liked that. Every vegetarian dog needs some Italian sausage. So then, y'all, and so after we left the room, they finally took us to the door that Janet Jackson was in, and we got to meet Janet. It was like 200 people waiting to take a picture with Janet Jackson. And I said, now y'all know, if you saw the show before, how I acted a complete plum fool when she came on this show. She came out in the show, I just acted a fool, started crying, started hollering, started, look at that, screaming. Gonna peed on myself, just all this stuff. And I said, Sherri, and I'm talking to myself as I'm walking through the door, I said, it is of paramount importance that you act like you got some sense. Because you already, y'all didn't see, but Janet's eyes got a little wide when I came at her. And so I said, you gotta keep it cool because she's gotta know you got sense. You wanna get invited to the party. So I walked in and she said, it's so good to see you again. And I said, yeah, girl, it's good to see you too. It's so good. And that's the whole time. And she was like, how are you? And I was like, you know how, everything. I was like, I'm not gonna mess this moment up. Janet gonna be like, I can invite her to the party. And I was like, so they told me, they said, well, they took the professional and they said I could take a selfie. And you know how you get your phone and I get on everybody about these daggone selfies. I was like, where's the camera? The camera would not come up on my cell phone and I'm swiping. Then they wanted my passcode. I couldn't remember my passcode. And then I'm trying to put it in. I was like, what is it? Is it rough sex 1, 2, 3, 4? What is the passcode to this? And I said, Janet, I'm sorry. I'm like my grandmama. And I could see the panic rising in her eyes. And then I finally got the camera, and then it was on slow-mo. I had to get it, and I just said, Sherri, just breathe. Just take a breath. And I said, girl, we gonna get this selfie. And I went back. And then Janet, I think I scared a little bit, because she went, what are you doing? And I looked at her, I said, they said I could take a selfie. You know what, we ain't gotta do nothing. Just drop the camera. But then, I got the selfie. When I tell you, and then everybody got a picture in my group. They got a picture with it, and we knew, keep it tight, sweet, get out. That's why you don't scare Janet Jackson. Then it was my publicist, Simone. My publicist, I've been with her. We've been together 11 years. She's an amazing publicist, but she's a Janet super fan. So she goes to take the picture. She got the key on her earring. I said, okay, you're weird. You wearing the key on your earring. She got the key. That's my publicist, Simone Smalls. I love her. She gets the one picture, I turn to go, and she goes, Janet, you so beautiful. She done put the Janet Jackson cap on. She's like, you so beautiful, I'm gonna start crying. I was like, bitch, you not gonna cry. That's what you not gonna do. Wipe them tears up. I'm trying to get to the party, and she's like, and so Janet's like, she took a deep breath, and she took 2 more pictures. And then I was just like, stop it, don't cry, because if you start crying, I'm gonna start crying. And we got out of there, and Janet said, it was good. And I said, well, if you want to come sit on the couch, sis. Come on, I called her sis. I said, if you want to come sit on the couch, sis, come and we can have a lot of fun and do it. And so, I'm going to tell you, I believe her publicist is Paula Witt.
Paula Witt helped coordinate things for us. Her and Joey really helped me pull off the surprise in December. And because I was home with the vid when Janet came the last time, I finally got to have my Janet moment too, so.
You got to take your picture with Janet.
Yes.
And John was supposed to, everybody took a singular picture, and John was supposed to take a single picture, and I stepped out, but then all I heard was, "Are you in the picture or not?" Scared me. I didn't want to, I didn't want to throw Janet off, so I stepped back into the picture. Like that. But thank you so much, everybody who made this experience so amazing. And I don't know if Janet is sold out, but if she's in a town near you, run and get tickets to Back Together Again. She is phenomenal, Janet Jackson. Y'all don't go anywhere because up next, Roy Wood Jr. is here. Performed one of the hardest jobs in comedy, and he absolutely killed it as host of the White House Correspondents' Dinner. Oh my God, so proud of him. Please welcome our friend Roy Wood Jr.
I'm back on the Sherri show.
And you're not, and it was like, it's not even soon enough. Like, I'm so glad you're here because you were phenomenal. I saw a bunch of clips. You were phenomenal hosting the White House Correspondents' Dinner. Roy, you got rave reviews. Now, this is one I was telling the audience before when we were talking about you. This is one of the hardest gigs in the world because you got Democrats, you got Republicans, you're trying to make everybody happy, but you killed. Could you tell that you were killing?
No. No. You're not listening. Like, all I'm doing is don't mess up the joke, don't mess up the joke. What's the next joke? Okay, you got through that joke. Do the next joke, do the next joke. And like halfway through, I look up and I see Lester Holt from NBC News, and Lester Holt just gave me one of these. And that's when I knew. I was like, oh, okay, everything's okay.
Everything's okay.
He gave me that Mr. Miyagi nod from Karate Kid.
So, Lee, I'm watching you, because I have been to the White House Correspondents' Dinner a few times, and that's like, it's just so difficult, because people are watching you and they're not smiling. So it's the most powerful people in the world. How nerve-wracking was it?
It's one of those gigs where you just have to accept that certain people are not gonna laugh for political reasons.
Right.
And then other people aren't gonna laugh because they sit next to their boss that you're talking about. Like, imagine if you were sitting there, this is the only thing I can describe it like in, like just for people who don't do comedy. Imagine if I came to your church and I started roasting your pastor while you were sitting next to your pastor.
Right.
You can't laugh at that.
You can't laugh.
Now, on the way home, you're gonna be laughing your ass off at pastor. But in the moment, you just gotta...
So was there, you know, when we get on stage, we have that opening joke that sets the tone for everything. Did you have like an opening joke that you knew, that you had tried out?
That's what made it hard, is that the first joke we could not try because the joke was on Biden. And so...
Oh, man.
Here's what I felt like I was up against, myself and my writers, and I have to give credit to my head writer, Christiana Mbakwe Medina. So Christiana, she was like, you have to, she's Black Brit, you have to punch the president in the mouth.
Oh, man!
So first joke has to be at him, because everybody in that room only knows me from The Daily Show. You don't really know my stand-up.
Right.
You may know I do stand-up. So the first joke was, hey, Mr. President, you left some classified documents up here.
Ooh!
And I go to hand them back to him. I have to do that joke, but that's a joke you can't run in a comedy club. No. Most of the set you run in a comedy club, so you know where I call them the support beams. Right. You know where the hard laughs are.
Yes.
But those moments between the laughs, you don't know. Fox News is in the building, and I'm clowning y'all about the Dominion lawsuit. I don't know how you're gonna take it.
Exactly.
So that's what makes it exciting. That's what makes it fun as a comedian.
And it killed, by the way, the joke when he did it. Yeah. Killed.
You're given an opportunity as a comedian to say things of worth in the room full of people who need to hear that stuff the most, so you can't say no to that opportunity.
Absolutely, so Roy, and you stepped up to the plate and you just dominated when you were there. So you know, being there, that's when you want to bring family or really close friends with you. You brought your son to DC with you while you did it. Yeah. So, is your son, is he proud of you?
That boy don't care nothing about it. Man, look at him. All he wants is popcorn and fun. Like, that's all he can. We went to D.C., and I'm like, yo, you know I'm performing for the president. And then he goes, will the hotel have pancakes?
That's it.
Did you just hear what I said to you, child? He goes, yes, but also will they be pancakes? I'm like, yeah, but it's hotel pancakes. Them ain't even the best pancakes.
Okay.
Like on the totem pole of pancakes, hotel pancakes. You ain't never stayed at a hotel because of the pancakes.
You ain't never stayed at a hotel because of the
You just go, oh, they got pancakes.
And that's all he cared about.
Yeah, that's all he cared about.
And they don't get any better, because I tell Jeffrey, I said, I'm nominated for an Emmy. He's like, yeah, whatever. And like, they don't, it just, can you help me change my sheets? Like, it isn't, that's what they do. But when watching you and your evolution, Roy, it's so amazing to see. So when you struggled and got into showbiz, how did your acting gigs go? Did they go well?
No, not good at all.
No.
You know, I have to give credit to my mother, because my mother was at the event. She was at the Correspondents' Dinner. My mom supported me even when she didn't understand
Oh, man.
what I wanted to do.
Because she's an educator, your mom.
Yeah, my mom, 40 years, 50 years in higher ed. So, you know, my mom gave me that push to keep trying to be better. And I got my first acting gig, and I called my mom about it. And I go, yo, PBS cast me in a Civil War reenactment. And she go, what do you play? And I was like, slave. But it was a Union slave, though. It was a Union slave. And it went terrible. It went terrible because the director goes, wear black shoes. I need you to wear black shoes because, you know, you're going to be in the Civil War outfit. Only black shoes I had was Jordans. He's furious. He go, well, we can dirty them up. I go, you will not dirty up my Jordans.
Slave or no slave reenactment, no.
So it became a 2-hour discussion of how to hide my feet in the shots, because I had on Jordans and I wouldn't let them dirty up, and I wasn't gonna be barefoot as no slave. Mama killed my ass. So I made $150 for like 10 hours of work, but I was on my way. That was my first television appearance.
And you would not show your feet. This is so funny, because we did some research and we found the clip of your first acting gig. Come back up here so we can watch it together. So we can watch this reenactment. Y'all take a look.
Private Thomas Long served in the Union Army.
If we hadn't become soldiers, then teens might have gone back as they were before. Our freedom may have passed through 2 houses of Congress, and President Lincoln's 4 years might have passed us by, and nothing been done for us. But our teens can never go back, because we done showed our energy, our natural courage, our natural manhood.
Because we done showed our courage, our natural manhood. But you know, they didn't show your feet, though.
And I gotta give credit to the director of that documentary. He did not ask me to do that slave accent. I did that on my own, thinking I was bringing something to the role. Oh, my Lord.
Oh, man.
Oh, my Lord.
And this is
How
so
did
funny
you
because,
find that?
oh, God, Roy, I can't even stop letting my stomach is hurting so bad. You're just amazing at what you do, but you killed it when you guest hosted The Daily Show.
That was a good time.
You got the highest ratings as the guest host on there.
Some episodes that did well, yeah.
Yeah, your episodes did so well. So how did it feel when you were hosting the show?
It was fun, because the dope thing about The Daily Show, and this was 3 weeks before Correspondents' Dinner.
Okay.
It was the perfect setup for that.
Right.
Because as a correspondent, your job is to work in accompaniment to Trevor Noah, as I have for years and years, right? So my job is to be a little crazy, a little silly. When you're the host, you get to settle into emotion. So you don't have to just be funny. You can also say things that have weight. You can also say things that have some worth, you know, and I don't think I do what I did at the Correspondents' Dinner. I don't think that goes as smoothly, if not for the staff giving me the space to be myself, and the writers at the show giving me the space to, what do you want to talk about? Because normally it's about acting in support of the show's mission, but to be able to steer the ship, that was gold.
You steered it.
That was fun.
Oh, you steered it.
That was fun. My mama ain't like that one segment where I was talking about whether or not college is still viable for everybody because it's so expensive. My mama had to straighten me out. She was like, boy, I've been working at college for 40 years. Don't mess up my money.
We always got to watch out for our parents.
Yeah.
And I love to see you not only with the White House Correspondents Dinner, with The Daily Show, but you also have developed your own comedy show. It's called Tribulations.
Yeah.
Can you tell us about that?
So during the pandemic, you know, everybody's going through stuff. And so we were trying to figure out a way to like get together with some other comedians and let audience members submit problems to me and the comedians anonymously. You are in the room with the people that are going through these things.
Okay.
Myself and the comedians, we crack a couple jokes about the problems, but then we have a licensed therapist, this wonderful woman, B. Arthur, from the Difference Therapy Group.
Okay, wait, B. Arthur like Golden
No,
Girls?
Black B. Arthur. We got a black one now. Well, me and the ghost of B. Arthur, we sit down. So the other B. Arthur, whom we have a lot of respect for, we sit down and she gives real solutions to these problems. It's a beautiful live show. We live stream it. We let people watch it. They can watch it for up to 2 weeks on my website. Like, it's a way to laugh, but also know that you're not alone in what you're going through. Because if you know you're not alone, then maybe you can find a way through.
Absolutely,
so
Roy.
That's what we're doing all summer.
Can I say, every time you come, can you please come sit on the couch more often?
No. Not if you're gonna dig up old clips from when I'm 19, talking like a slave. No, I will not come back.
Please, don't let me get the password to your phone, because I'm gonna go through it. We got some good stuff to show. Roy, thank you so much for being here. We love you. Oh my gosh.
Thank you for having me.
Y'all, to find out where you can see Roy performing live on stage, go to SherriShowTV.com. Get those tickets to see him do stand-up. Yeah. And watch The Daily Show weeknights at 11 on Comedy Central. Up next, Suggestion Box. Keep it here. Roy Wood Jr. Suggestion box. So we are going to reach inside the box and read some suggestions. Now, our first suggestion comes from Patricia in New York. And Patricia writes, "Hey, Sherri, unfortunately, I do not have BBL money to get the body I've always desired. My suggestion would be for you to give weight loss tips and tell us what has worked for you." Well, fortunately for you, Patricia, you don't need to have Brazilian butt lift money to achieve your fitness goals. So here's some of Sherri's fitness tips that will help you get started. First, you have to understand your why. Why do you want to lose weight? Why do you want to be healthy? Because if you know the why, this is going to push you to stay consistent. Now, my why to working out in the mornings is my son, Jeffrey, because I want to be there for him. I want us to be able to do things together. I want him to have his girlfriend or his wife, and I want to give her a hard time because I know I'm not going to like her. So I need to be there to do that. Next, Patricia, I say get yourself a good trainer or an online trainer who's gonna motivate you through your rough days. But make sure you can't be attracted to your trainer, because you don't wanna be, you do them wrong kind of workouts. That sumo squat will get you in trouble. Now last, Patricia, I would say have fun in the gym with your exercises. Back that thing up on the punching bag, straddle the bench, drop it low when you're doing your squats. Show them them Megan Thee Stallion knees. You got this, Patricia, and you're gonna be great. Thank you so much for your suggestion. All right. Look, y'all didn't think I could do the Megan Thee Stallion knees, did I? Yeah. So this suggestion comes from a woman in today's audience who wants to surprise her mother, who she brought with her today. So she writes, "Hey, Sherri, can I suggest that your glam team give my mom a makeover for Mother's Day? Oh, she has dedicated her life to taking care of me, and our community. Okay, my mom has a nonprofit youth development foundation, created endless after-school programs, youth-led podcasts, and a community garden. I believe my mom deserves to be cared for because she's not only my mother, she's everyone's mother." Okay, wow. Well, if you have not figured out we are talking about you yet, I want you to come down here, Mama Dion and her daughter, Malika. Come here, Mama Dion. Come on. Come on down here, beautiful ladies. So, Dion, are you surprised that you're done with Malika?
Yes. I was like, what the?
You're like, who they talking about? It sound like me.
Right.
Yes, so, okay, so we are gonna, Malika, we're gonna give your mom a makeover.
It's Malika.
Malika, I'm sorry,
all good.
sis.
It's okay.
Malika,
All
girl,
good.
it's the hot flashes, I'm telling you.
All good, all good.
Girl, you'll get to that point. You are not just, okay?
I'm already there.
So we're gonna give your mom a makeover, all right? So I wanna give you my Emmy-nominated team to give you a makeover. So welcome, come on. So I want you to meet, this is Willie Sinclair III from the Milwaukee Sinclairs. This is your stylist. This is Rodney John, and this is he's makeup, and this is Theo Barrett, who does hair. Now, Malika, girl, see, you tell me one time, check me once, I got it. Malika, what would you like our glam team to do for your mom?
I just want y'all to make her feel really confident, beautiful. She's already beautiful.
She's
but
already.
just, you know, the best version of herself.
Oh, my God. Okay, well, Willie, Rodney, John, and Theo, would you please take Mama Dion away, and we're gonna see her big reveal tomorrow. Thank you. All right, so she's already so confident and beautiful. I don't know what we're gonna do, but if you want to submit to our suggestion box, go to sherryshowtv.com. And up next, we're talking all things menopause with Emmy-winning journalist Tamsen Fadal. Menopause is rarely discussed, and it is often misunderstood. So here to bust some myths and share some tips is Emmy Award-winning journalist and menopause advocate, Tamsen Fadal. Hi, Tamsen. Girl, where have you been all my life, or at least these last 5 years? Okay. There have not been enough conversations about menopause, so why do you think that is?
You know, this is something for such a long time there was such a stigma about. There was so much silence, and women would suffer because, one, they didn't have anyone to talk to about it, and our moms were never talking to us about it.
Right.
So we didn't know what to do. So when I went through my experience, I didn't know what it was. I ended up on the floor of the bathroom at work, staring at the side of the toilet, thinking like, what is going on? Flat on the floor. And I realized that, you know, this is something that we need to discuss. We have to shatter the silence about this. And we've got to do it for each other, because by the year 2025, 1 billion women are going to be in menopause. Ooh. So we're all going to be dealing with it. Men are going to be dealing with it, and so are we.
Yeah, because the men are on the edge of their seat going, please help me. So, like, so many women are nervous about going into menopause because we don't even know what it means.
Sure.
But what are, like, the top 3 myths about menopause?
You know, I'm glad you asked that, because there's a lot of misinformation out there
Right.
about menopause, which is what makes it so confusing. So the first one is that menopause automatically begins when you turn 50. A lot of things happen when you turn 50. That is not the only thing that happens.
Okay.
Menopause can start early in your 40s, even 30s, some of those symptoms.
Ooh.
So we're talking perimenopause, and then you hit menopause.
Who is Perry? That's what I want to know.
Well, Perry is a tough one, because I'd never heard of that word before, right? And all of a sudden, you start getting all these symptoms. That leads up to menopause.
Okay.
You hit menopause, and then you get postmenopause. Ooh. So you're in it for a long time.
Oh, my gosh. Okay, what's the next myth?
So myth number 2 is that menopause automatically ends after a few years. The truth is, it doesn't end. Once you're in it for life.
Okay, you are, oh,
I'm
shit.
sorry.
I'm in it for life? You gotta be kidding me. There's no end date to menopause?
There's no end date. Here's what happens. You know, your symptoms start to dissipate a little bit. But the truth of the matter is we're always postmenopausal after this. It's funny, I was at dinner the other night, and I was talking to the guy that was sitting next to me, and he goes, my wife's almost already through that menopause thing. And I went, oh. No, I'm gonna break your little heart. That is not the case. She is postmenopausal.
What am I supposed to put on my Bumble profile? That the menopause never ends? Come to pick me, swipe right, girl.
Forever.
Oh, gosh. Okay, what's the next myth?
All right, I know, I'm sorry. We just got one more. Okay. Menopause means you're old. Well, the truth is, that just means that this is a great time and you're ready for your next transition.
Okay.
Because I look at menopause, yes, right?
I like that. I like that.
This is your best self.
This is the best
You're
self.
living it right now.
I'm telling you.
So you know.
Okay, don't let anybody
know.
tell you. It does not mean you're old. Now, you recently went TikTok viral for listing that there are 34 symptoms of menopause. I did not know this. Now, what symptoms were you most surprised by?
Gosh, you know what? We've heard about the hot flashes,
Yes.
as we all know, and the night sweats. There were some other symptoms out there that shocked me, though.
What?
Tingling extremities. I don't know if anyone's had this, where you feel like something's going
Yes.
on,
Underneath my
and
skin.
you're touching it, and nothing's happening. So that's one of them.
Right.
A lot of them obviously caused by a lack of estrogen, including decreased libido.
Okay. Oh, girl, the libido. When am I gonna have sex? That's what I want to know.
I know.
That's all I used to think about was sex. Now I sleep all the time. What the hell?
Trust me, I know. I got remarried at 50, and I'm like, what? Well, this was bad timing on my part.
What else surprised you? Hysterical.
Brain fog, a big one, where you're just
Yeah.
constantly, you're in a conversation, you're searching for that word. Like, what was I?
So that's not getting older. That's like the menopause, brain fog.
The menopause, the brain fog. And it's really, you know, it's hard. And then burning tongue is another one. I don't know if you've ever had that, but like your mouth kind of burns. Have you had that one yet?
No, I did
Well,
put that
just
on my
wait.
profile, though. I got a burning tongue. That'll get you something. Sorry.
That might not be a menopause thing.
It wasn't, that ain't menopause, girl. Now, all right, so now tell me this. Okay, I forget this is daytime. I feel like we're at the bar talking.
We can do that afterwards.
Now, once you're diagnosed with menopause, what are some tips for managing the symptoms?
Yeah, you know, it's really important. I think the most important thing is you find a doctor you trust, because a lot of women are dismissed by their doctors.
Yeah.
And they don't feel heard. And the truth is, a lot of doctors don't have that much information about menopause.
Oh.
And that's what makes it difficult, and they're not necessarily comfortable always talking about it. So you've got to find a doctor that you trust, and they feel like they're okay talking about it with you and can give you some different options.
Okay.
Next, intermittent fasting has been big for me. It doesn't work for everybody, but I seem to like it because I feel like it helps me balance my energy. Because at one point I was just wanting to sleep all the time. I was exhausted. I had no energy, and I didn't know why. And I also adjusted my workout a bit, and I think that that's a big part of it, because I don't work out at 52 now like I did when I was 20 years old. I just can't do it. But walking and weights have been a big part of that to help me out.
So exercise, yeah. Okay. What about sleep?
Deal.
I know we don't get enough sleep.
We don't get enough sleep, right? And I feel like we need it more than ever. I've tried to get a fixed sleep schedule as much as I can. I used to be the person that was like, I got 3 hours of sleep and I'm fine.
Yeah.
But I can't do that anymore. Can you? It's tough.
But it's so
really
important
tough.
to sleep. Now I know it's really, really
Yes,
important.
it is.
Somebody, when I said sleep, somebody went, ha 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 ha.
Right?
I
It
know.
doesn't exist.
And before we go,
Yes.
you got to tell us about your hot girl menopause smoothie.
You have to have fun with all this, right? Because you want to thrive during this time, not just survive. So this is something I came up with intermittent fasting. I'm not a doctor, obviously, but I am somebody that has been dealing with it. So this is it. It's got some protein for you. It's got some blueberries for antioxidants. Got a little bit of maca powder for your hormones.
Oh, I like it. I can feel my libido coming back. I want to do it.
Then it's working.
This is working. Tamsen, you got to come back because we need to know more about menopause. I need to know more about the 34 symptoms, which you didn't know about. I want to thank you for being here.
Thank you.
For more info and to find a menopause practitioner, check out the North American Menopause Society. And for more info on everything discussed today, go to sherryshowtv.com. We will be right back. Tamsen Fadal. Time to play What's That Line? Now, I am here with Janie from New Jersey. Janie! So I am going to show you a photo from a Disney classic, and you have to guess that line. Your line is from Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. Here are your choices. Magic mirror on the wall, who is the fairest one of all? Or, this dress does nothing for my figure. Or, I give up, I'll just skip the ball.
A, magic mirror, who's the fairest of them all?
All right, there you go, Janie, thank you for playing, and we're gonna give you a $100 gift card to Casa Danny Restaurant. We'll be right back. Time for today's Hot Flash. Now, somebody who's slaying motherhood right now is Keke Palmer. Keke posed in this sultry, sexy cheetah print dress showing all the curves she got since giving birth to her son, Leo. Now, Keke looking this good after having a baby is dangerous. Just ask Rihanna. And Kiki's man Darius is trying to get her pregnant again. He commented, baby Leo might need a little brother, okay? Motherhood look good on you, Kiki. And that's today's Hot Flash. We'll be right back. I hope something on today's show put a smile on your face. Tomorrow, Marcel Spears will be here. Plus, make sure to watch out for Mama Dion's big makeover reveal. Until then, be intentional about having a good time. Bye-bye.
Nice.